Do you want an easier way to get the ball close to the hole without worrying about chunking or blading your chip shots? The bump and run 7-iron is the simplest and most reliable shot in golf, but most golfers never learn to use it the right way. In this video, I'm going to show you how to hit it, a simple drill on how to master it, and why this should be your go-to shot around the greens. Okay, first off, to hit this shot, what we want to have is a narrow stance. So when I set up to this ball, I get my stance very, very narrow, about one club head between my feet. The next thing that I want to do is I want to play the ball a little bit more off of my back foot. One of the keys to making a really solid contact is to make sure that we're hitting the grass ahead of the golf ball. And when I play the ball a little bit further back in my stance, it's easier to brush the grass ahead versus trying to hit the ground behind the ball and trying to lift the ball. So playing that ball back in my stance encourages the chances of me hitting the grass ahead of the golf ball. Next, we want to make sure that we have our weight a little bit more on the front foot. Once again, this encourages me to hit the ground ahead of the golf ball. And then obviously I'm using my 7-iron. So that's the setup from this point of view. The setup from this point of view is that I do like when the club is just standing up a little bit more vertical, and you can choke down on the club just ever so slightly. And that's going to make the shaft and your arms kind of in one little line, which is going to make this much better for a nice putting motion. Now that's going to be the big key for this, is that we're going to hit this more like a putt than we are going to be hitting it like a chip. A 7-iron is a stronger club, and it comes off the face a lot hotter than it would with a more lofted club like a sand wedge or a pitching wedge. So we do need to make a smaller swing. So that swing, as you can see here, is going to be much more like a putting stroke. So when you are this close to the green, and I'm usually going to suggest using the bump and run from about 10 or 20 yards from off the green, we need to use that putting stroke. And if you notice, my putting stroke does not allow the club to go above my knees. So the club stays below my knees the whole time. And then also the club stays low to the ground. So as you'll see, the club does not get very much above the ground here. And same on the follow through. So the club is staying low to the ground on both sides. It's also crucially important that the backstroke and the follow through match each other. We don't want to feel like we are trying to push the ball all the way to the hole, but I also don't want to see this where I see too big of a backstroke and then slowing down coming into the golf ball. You'll also notice from this point of view that my backstroke and my through stroke are very straight back and straight through. I'm not allowing the club to arc very much to the inside, and same thing on the other side. I'm not allowing that club to arc very much. So I'm allowing that club to go straight back and straight through. And once again, every time I take a practice swing, I'm trying to brush that grass ahead of that golf ball. If you notice here, I'm taking my practice swing and brushing the grass ahead of the golf ball, preparing myself to brush that grass ahead, which is going to make this bump and run so much more solid when I hit this shot. Now, historically, when I've shown this shot to people and they haven't used a 7-iron in the past, they usually hit the ball way too hard. So I'm going to show you a drill that's going to really help you with developing the distance control that we need with the 7-iron. So as you can see, I'm going to this white flag behind me here. But when I'm going towards this white flag, I'm actually going to play a little bit of a ladder game or a leapfrog game. So basically, I'm going to hit my first shot as short as I possibly can. So just to be clear, this first shot, I'm just going to hit maybe just a couple of feet here. I'm not allowing it to go very far. I really want you to train how small of a stroke that you need to hit this shot. So I'm only going to go about just a couple of feet. So as you can see, I only hit the ball a couple of feet. So this next one, I'm going to try to hit a little bit further than that, just a little bit bigger swing. So as you can see, I'm leapfrogging and getting closer to the hole. I'm going to see if I can go a little bit further than that. Now I'm up onto the edge of the green. I'm going to go a little further than that this time. Now I'm about halfway to the hole onto the green. And hopefully this last one will get right up near that hole. Or go in. Come on. Oh, so close. So what's great about this drill is that it allows you to kind of get to the appropriate size swing and the appropriate power of the swing that you want to use to hit this shot, but you're going to inch your way up to it. What a lot of people do is they make the mistake of starting with too big of a swing, and then they're just trying to make it slightly smaller each time to try to get it to the correct distance. Most people that first try this shot end up hitting the ball way too far. So if you do this drill and you work your way up to the correct distance that you're supposed to hit it, you will learn this size swing so much better. And this 7-iron is just going to be a shot you're going to love because it eliminates that chunk in that bladed shot that is constantly there when you're chipping the ball. Here's another cool thing about this shot. All the shots I've hit so far were hit well, where I hit the grass ahead of the golf ball. I'm going to use the same size swing of my last shot right there, but this time I'm going to accidentally blade the ball. Well, I'm not going to accidentally do it. I'm going to do it on purpose, just so you can see what happens. So I'm using the same size swing as I did before to hit the shot that's now a couple of feet from the hole. Now that shot there, I topped. I hit it a little bit thin. And what's great about it is because it is a smaller swing that I'm using in the bump and run, the outcome of my thin shot versus the one that I hit that was very, very good are about the same distance from the hole over there. So this is what's going to be great about this particular shot is that you're going to be able to hit bad shots with this bump and run, and the result will still be a decent result. If you want to improve your scores without spending hours on your short game, this is going to be a must-have shot in your game. Hit like and subscribe for more easy-to-follow tips like this, and comment down below with the club that you typically chip with.